Yeah, you and gay.
I literally was like, okay, let me look at all the podcasts that they've done recently, and I was like, oh, that's my friend, that's my friend, that's my friend, and I was like, I'm next.
Cool. We're so glad to have you. Hopefully people who have been following along know my name by now and know your name by now.
Which is Gabriel.
But they may not
And
know
Tyler.
your name. What's your name? Who are you?
Well, my name is Nick Masc.
Yes, Nick.
Thank
Yay.
you. And yeah, that's my little rundown already.
Yeah.
I think it stands for itself. Right
Yeah,
now.
for sure. Is that your actual last name?
Actually, no. I actually just got to pick one. That's
Yeah,
the best part of California.
that's the best part.
You come into California and they're like, "So what's your name?" And you're like,
Wow, good question.
What should it be?
I'm like a glass apple.
Yeah, right.
No.
George Glass.
No, when I worked for the Andrew Christian company, the underwear company, they asked me my hashtag, and at that point, I was not in the gay culture.
Sure.
So my name was Nicholas Mascardo, but everyone spelled Mascardo wrong. That was
Sure.
Madagascar, mascara, and I was like, let's not make it complicated. Let's
Make
not
it
make those
simple.
misspelling. I want all this branding.
Sure.
So let's just cut both in half. Nick
Yeah.
Masc.
Perfect.
Simple.
So yeah.
It's like my name in Brazil, in Portuguese, is Gabriel Coutinho Drummond de Oliveira. It's like 5 names. And whenever I apply for my citizenship here, I just simplify it and I added 3 names, so it's just Gabriel Drummond.
I felt when you said that, I
Yeah.
just walked right into a Spy Kids movie. I was like, did that just open something?
So remind me, how old are you?
Oh God.
I know,
All
right? I'm 35.
I'm 32.
Okay.
I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed of it.
Yeah,
You
actually.
look super young.
I
Thank
mean,
you. I think it's the Filipino in me.
There you
know?
go.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Do you have like a melting pot history with where you're from nationality wise?
I'm not really that close to my family, but my mom's side is Italian and my dad's side's like strong Filipino.
Wow.
So it's like it's a great mix. It's a
Yeah.
great tan.
For sure,
Good.
for sure. I had the experience of growing up on the same street as a giant Filipino family. I think there were like 20 people in their family.
Yeah,
And
huge
they
families.
were so embracive. I had such a great experience. They were like my best friends growing up, and they would always have lumpia and
Lumpia is
rice.
like
What's lumpia?
Oh my God, it's like an egg roll, but like has meat in it.
Yes.
It's really like, oh my God.
So good. I
Lumpia's-
remember like eating them, and my fingers would get so greasy and like licking the
Perfect,
grease
though.
off the fingers.
That sounds so good right now.
Oh my
I'm
God.
from a very white family, so we didn't have any delicious food hanging out of the house. And if we did, I ate it.
Well, pecan pies are pretty good, so
Yeah, we
not
did-
too bad.
How are you giving him the pecan pie?
Literally, this is like the one thing that like I
America.
I get
America.
excited
Pecan
about.
pie and sweet tea.
Oh, sweet
Love
tea.
it, by the
Yeah.
way,
But you
for
can
sure.
tell you're from Florida because
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, for many reasons. But yeah, I have most of my nationality obviously is white, so I come from like what my parents say is a German, French, Irish mix.
that's what white people say when they're
Right.
really white.
And then my
I'm
20
1%.
sub-Saharan African.
Now he's a milk. He's
Right,
a 1%. I'm 2%.
So wait,
Sure.
so you're from Florida, which I can relate to. You're basically from Florida.
I'm Floridian, yeah. Lived in Florida for 8
Basically.
years, so yeah. I'm
Yeah.
Floridian. I like sweet tea, so
He
that
said
makes
it
me
with a
Floridian.
strong accent. He was like,
Right.
I'm Floridian.
Right.
And I'm like, I believe you.
Right.
And I like sweet tea. Oh yeah.
There you go.
For sure, for sure. I mean, in Florida too, everyone has some sort of an accent, whether it's
Yes.
country or Hispanic or Portuguese. But you don't really have too much of an accent, I guess.
I don't know. I guess I don't know. People say I sound like I'm from there.
Sure.
And then a lot of
Really?
times, a lot of people say that I sound like I'm from here.
Interesting.
So, I don't know what that sounds like.
Just you.
You're
You're a
both.
mixture. So
Oh.
you grew up on the Panhandle side of Florida,
Yeah.
though, right? So
Yeah.
Pensacola, was that there?
Pensacola.
What was that
Amazing.
like?
I love my hometown, but I feel like I outgrew it by the time I got into my 20s.
sure.
So,
Sure. How long did you live in the Panhandle?
I lived there for about 20 years. I mean,
Wow.
like probably like 19 years, and then went to college for 4 years, and then went to LA.
Nice. Where did you go to college?
I went to a college out in Albany, Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, for 2 years, and then I went to a place in South Carolina called Coker College for 2 years.
Nice. You really wanted to get that Southern college
Oh
experience?
no, I was in like, cross country and track and field. You know,
Nice.
I just went wherever they would throw money at me.
Wow.
That's cool.
So you got
Yeah.
scholarships.
Yeah,
That's
100%,
incredible.
Yeah. I was like, my mom was like a single teacher. I was like, the only way I'm gonna do this is if I like go and join something.
Sure.
And I was like, let me join something that I can learn how to be good at and not have some natural skill at.
Interesting. So you kind of knew, though, you wanted to go to college. Was that like a pressure on you at any
I
point?
think it was like if I don't go to college now and I wait, then I won't go to college.
Right.
Yes.
Did you see college as also a way for you to like leave your hometown, or did you not really think about it in that
I definitely
perspective?
thought it was like a way to leave, to get out,
Yeah.
just to like start a new life, you know?
Sure.
A lot of the times, like, people don't want to be like, I mean, they love their family, and a lot of people like to represent their name and like stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I love my family, but like I felt like I was the black sheep, you
Sure.
know? So I was like, let me get out of here. Let's go to college and
Yeah.
like figure out who I want to be.
Yeah.
And then when I got to college, that's when I realized like that was my thing. I was like,
Yeah.
that's my vibe.
Yeah.
I found out who I wanted to be. I learned how to talk in front of public, like people, like, and then from that point, I was like, okay, well, I guess I can just create a brand new life.
For sure. I think that's a really interesting perspective that maybe people like in our age, and maybe you're 29, like I feel like social media has made it really difficult for kids and young adults to feel like they can sort of start over when they reach adulthood. It's almost like, and I've been reading about this, kids now feel like they're already planning and have to be conscious of like who they are at like 13.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, the first time I went to a gay bar, I was 15
Yeah.
sneaking in, and then every time I would go, I could be a different person. Like I could be
Yeah.
Tyler today, I could be Jacob tomorrow, I could be
Yeah.
Evan the next day. Whereas now someone can just Google you and
Yeah.
find out.
Social media is like all your history, everything you do is there, right? You
Yeah.
cannot like erase it.
So we
Yeah,
had
but that just sounds like what we were doing
Yeah.
when we were younger, complaining about not wanting
Right.
to grow up. Yeah, that just sounds like a
True.
way not to put it into punk music,
sure
and then like complain about it somewhere.
for sure.
But like literally, like I think it's a great thing. Like if
Yes.
I would have, I mean, I guess I love that I got to play in a tree or something, and
for
I
sure.
got to like go outside and do something and play with gack or something.
Sure.
But I literally would have loved to start off 11 years old working. Like
Yeah, for sure.
11-year-old. I want to run around with a fucking G-Wagon with fucking like my face plastered all over
Yeah,
it. Like
as well. Start
right.
I
early.
buy 16 and like done. I want to be like tapped out.
So you wanted to follow JoJo Siwa's footsteps? No, not exactly.
I wouldn't say it like that.
I know, I'm just kidding.
I mean, if you mean that I want to go back in the closet, maybe. I don't know.
Speaking of the
Right.
closet, did you always know that you were gay?
Oh no, I think I was oblivious to that.
Really?
I think I didn't really feel like that was an option. I didn't really learn
Yeah.
about it and hear about
Wow.
it really. Small town, like
Yeah.
like one or two gay bars, like, and you know, coming from a gay point of view now, you're like, oh fuck, Memorial Weekend or whatever it is
Right,
at Pensacola
right.
Beach is a shit. But like
Yeah.
literally, like I grew up around church, you know, Catholic church, and
Wow.
and my family was always like, since I was little, they were like, oh, gay weekend, we have to stay in this weekend.
Wow.
And it wasn't like
Right.
a negative thing.
No,
it wasn't
but-
like a.
Yeah, it was
that
more
is
like give
so
them
funny.
space.
It was
maybe?
like a. Hey, you know, it's not really the family
Yeah,
vibe
right.
out there.
Yeah.
you
That makes
know?
sense, though.
And that's what my family, because we would go every weekend,
Wow.
because that's what you do when you just live there. You
Yeah,
know.
totally makes sense. We went 2 years ago to Pensacola Beach, went to the Pride event that they do on the beach. And he told me, because he'd been there before, like 10 years ago, and he was very excited to take me there because it's on a beach and, you know, so fun, it's gay pride. And then we went, and he was like, we should have stayed home because it was not the most family-friendly event. So.
Yeah. I mean, so what they had done, so usually, and it depends, I think, on the year, but the years in the past that I had gone, like the whole Portofino Hotel, which I'm sure maybe
Yeah,
you know that,
yeah.
it was always booked out completely from gays. So we would like conquer the whole pool, we'd have all the bars,
Yeah.
everything, the whole beach. Well, the year we went, it was commingle. So it was like half straight people, half gay people. So there were no events happening like where we were staying. And it was like,
Yeah.
you just didn't feel, like you said, you want to give
Yeah.
everyone space to feel comfortable. And so for me, when I'm around people who I think would be sort of inflamed by me and my Speedo or thong on the beach, I'm like, maybe we shouldn't do that, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I literally like that's the reason I haven't gone back.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
literally have only been one time. It was my first like time I had ever been in a Speedo. It was like Speedo branded too.
Yes,
and
yes,
I like
yes.
went back to the tent to like cover myself up between my strut down the thing.
sure.
And like I had a similar experience, but it's a little bit more intense than that. But I basically had spent the night and whatever I did.
Sure.
And then I coming down this thing at like, I think like coming down the elevator to like leave.
Yeah.
And at like what was it, like 10:30 or 11 in the morning, checkout time? Ooh,
Sure.
who picked that time? Who picked that time? And I'm over here and, you know, I'm just in a Speedo thinking I'm just coming out to all these gays leaving. And I'm just, a family of like 5 get
yeah.
inside the elevator and I look down and I'm like, you know, I did not look at what I was wearing. I did not look at like if I was like cleaned up, if I looked a
Right.
mess, if I like, you know, and I was like, there are 2 kids just looking over at me and I'm like,
Yeah.
It's so funny, the Speedo culture in America, because in Brazil, we all wear Speedos.
Right.
Especially gay men. You go to the beach, everyone's wearing Speedos. But here, if you're wearing a Speedo, you're gay.
Yeah, it's definitely like if you're showing too much skin here, you're not quite fitting the mold.
Yeah, which is crazy.
You know, I definitely feel like we're a hyper masculine society. You know, we have been for ever, and so hopefully, I mean, I think that is changing, but it's a pendulum, right?
Yeah, the straights just got to steal everything from us.
I know they usually do at some point.
They
you know,
yeah, they do. I mean, I see those memes, and I'm like, yeah, now you guys aren't wearing tight things anymore.
Right.
I was like, weren't you wearing tight things when we were?
Exactly.
We weren't wearing them, and now
They like to copy us.
But who does?
we're trendy.
We're
trendy.
trendy. You know, they talk about a lot of that with the AIDS epidemic and how much creative people we lost, because we really are the creators. And at the end of the day, we highly influence music, art, you know, anything you can think of, you know, gay people got their hands on it.
Right.
So I can definitely relate with your story. You talk about how your, you know, family was quite religious growing up. My whole family is super conservative, and they talk about being, you know, such followers of Christ. But when you look at how they act,
Yeah,
I mean,
they're not followers.
Oh no! Oh, I know. I've been to
they're
multiple
Christians,
churches,
but they're not followers of Christ.
The
you
moment
know?
I got tattoos and I came back from college to come visit my home church with my family, trust me, I know what it's like to walk into a church and feel absolutely judged, but with smiles.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure.
Really?
Yeah. I walked in with one tattoo, and you go in. I was a Southern Baptist church, and I walked in, and every old person, like to be old person. Old person, is that wrong to say?
No, that's
Absolutely
vague.
Old person. I'm gonna be real. Like it was all of the old people, like literally looked at me like I had like committed a crime because you know what either if it was the body's a temple, or either is this a gateway to drugs and partying, or like, you know, in general, judging whatever I got done. You know, it's
That's
a lot of
crazy.
churches, and I didn't say every church, but a lot of churches, a lot of people who end up like really like being so like into it. Like when you walk into one of those rooms, it's like the worst judgment. You know, you feel more judged outside of those walls than you do in.
Absolutely.
And that's like horrible, because you want a community like that. I've been to churches that have been great, but you want, like, if you're trying to really convince people to follow something and to believe in something and to have that ability to be with somebody and this conjugation, then you should really be more welcoming.
For sure.
Yeah.
You know, I think you get the idea of that, and the church idea sounds great. I've been to many wonderful churches where everyone truly is welcome. They don't try to change you. They're just happy to have you there and be a part of the community. And then there's other ones where it's a little bit more homogeneous. Everyone kind of looks the same. They sound the same. They live in the same area. And so when you enter, even though maybe the, you know, sign outside says all are welcome, you certainly don't feel that way.
Oh yeah.
You feel like, you know, you're standing out for all the wrong reasons, and you know, it's to each.
But you always have the really cool youth pastor with the guitar that makes you feel like you've been friends for 8 years. They're like, hey, what's up, man? My name's blah blah blah, and then they do this handshake you've never heard of, and they're like, you're gonna pick it up on pizza day, bro. You'll get it. It always is that way. It's always that way.
You're right. There is always someone there.
It's always pizza day. There's always a pizza day at a church, you know?
So what age were you when you were coming back into that church with that one tattoo? How old were you?
Oh my God. I guess it would like 17 probably, because I remember telling my mom, because I was like, okay, I'm an adult now. I was like, Mom, I walked in, I said, Mom, I'm getting a tattoo. And she said, no, you aren't. I said, that wasn't a question. I'm an adult, Mom.
I actually only have one.
I'm an adult, Mom. And still to this day, I don't feel like an adult.
For sure, same.
But I can lie.
None of us.
Fake it till you make it. Fake it till you
exactly.
make
Hey,
it.
it's the imposter
kids at heart.
syndrome.
We fake it until the Botox wears out, and then you can start going to Palm Springs.
Retire there.
Exactly. So
yeah.
did you get a tattoo before you came out?
I didn't come out until I was 23.
Wow.
Yeah, amazing, like, coming out experience though. It was just like, it's on the perfect time cusp, because when it was really trending. So
Right.
It was the thing.
It was so cool, because like, and then like 5 years later, like, is Nick Jonas by? Like, what is this? Like, I'm like, oh my God, am I Nick Jonas? No, when I came out, no, I literally came out at 23. I went through college, had my exact college experience where you get, you don't make any of the cups, you end up doing a naked lap, and then you end up making out with a volleyball player, and then you don't remember it. And that's, you have that experience, and then like everybody does in college. And then you're like, I'm gonna have to wait until me and my girlfriend like are done, and then we move back home and we separate. Right. So I didn't want to bring, because I was already a cross country runner wearing shorts. I didn't want to bring my sexuality and that drama to the school. I was like, I can reinvent myself. I did it when I got here. I did it when I got to college. I've always had to like I've kind of reset and created the person that I was like, this needs to change, and then I'm going to just recreate that. Wow. That's what I did when I was gay. I literally realized I was sitting on the couch and I had seen this Andrew Christian underwear model search competition, and I had not gone to a gay bar. Like I'd secretly gone in, but then got caught and everything. But
so you were curious at least.
Oh yeah, of course. But after I did that college thing, and then I like came back and I was like, I'll try it. And then I was sitting there and I was like, should I join this contest? I was like, if I submit this photo, then everyone's gonna know that I'm in a gay contest. And I was like, okay, I'll do it, but I won't advertise for it. And then I did it, and then I got to the next round, and I was like, fuck. And then I was like, I really had to advertise for it. So now I was just like, screw it, I'll do it. Yeah. I was like, because this is an opportunity to Cinderella the fuck out of my life. Yes. I was like, why not? Because the worst thing I can get is a no. So I didn't come out to anybody. I just posted the contest and blew it up and traveled around to like clubs and like got people to vote for me and like got on my local radio. I did like too much.
What?
I did too much.
No,
this is what happens when you have ADD. Like you do too much. I was like, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. Yeah. And then like literally I ended up flying to LA, and Andrew Christian flew me here. We did test shoots, and then I flew in the next month, and I was like, I woke up one day, I was like, I don't like my job. I don't want to be here. So I put in my 2 weeks. I took the paycheck that they gave me from winning the contest, and I took 2 check-in bags, and I flew right over, and literally that was it. And then
your life.
I just came here and was Nick Masc. I was gay already. I didn't have to explain it. I did my interviews with them and told everything, and it was like, I never had to tell my friends. They just found out eventually through Facebook and Instagram, my thirst traps. Sure. Then my parents found out through interviews, and they called me, and that was about it. Yeah. And then I basically just created a new life, and then just told everyone, hey, this is me.
Yeah. You basically came out on social media.
Yeah. 100%. And like Andrew Christian gave me like the best experience. Like I was flying to Tel Aviv, like South Korea, like Bangkok, like getting all these gay circuit party moments and like getting fully fulfilled and gay.
For sure. Out of all the coming out stories, this is definitely the most glamorous.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was beautiful. I was hosting at these parties. I was like literally, it was the craziest experience I had ever had. And thanks to him, I now got to have the best gay experience, because I feel like I had already had the best straight experience. Sure. Yeah. And when I ended that, I was like, it's time to have the best gay experience. Like, let me have a great
best
gay
of
life.
both worlds.
Yes, you're basically Hannah Montana.
Oh my God, I've gotten that so much. No, I'm just kidding. It's a teeth, right?
So it's interesting though that you have this sort of perspective on how you're easy and able to reinvent yourself, which I think a lot of queer people can sort of align themselves with, because really we're inventing this person at an early age, right? We start to realize, maybe whenever it comes to us, for some of us, maybe not everyone, but for me, I knew I was gay probably by like 6 to 8. And then I knew it was wrong by like 8 to 13. So I had to
I knew I was wrong.
Right?
I reassessed.
Yeah. I was like, this is not going to fit into this house.
I don't know if you remember, we met like 10 years ago.
I know.
That was my first Pride.
I remember.
So that was my first Pride. Atlanta Pride was my first Pride.
Is that where we met? That is where we met.
Yeah. We met at Atlanta Pride. And literally, I was like, I look back, I was like, that was like 9 years ago.
It's kind of crazy too, because my perception of you, mind you, I had just seen you on social media, like you mentioned. I kind of saw you take off with Andrew Christian, because at the time, I don't know if this was Facebook or Instagram, but Andrew Christian was one of the only sort of gay underwears out there. Now there's literally, I think I started a company doing the same thing at some point. Yeah. So it's everyone can do it.
You think? What was it again? Right. Was it Jake?
Something like that.
Jake Swipe Up. So that's how you know my age by saying Swipe Up.
Right. So I knew that who you were because I had seen you all over social media. And so because of the nature of what I had seen, I was like, oh, he's probably always, been into these events and things like that. So when you told me it was your first Pride, I was like, what? This is crazy.
Oh, it was so crazy, though.
So a lot happened for you in such a short amount of time. You were like exposed to, like you mentioned, the sort of international gay community in like 6 months.
Yeah. It was literally so crazy. I got all of it in at once. I literally, they told me, Andrew was like, get your passport. I'm sitting in Florida. He's like, get your passport ready. Your first booking is in Tel Aviv.
Crazy.
And I was like, he was like, we're going to Forever Tel Aviv. We're going to do 4 parties, 6 days. Like Romeo's coming with you. We're all just going to go. It's going to be sick. And at that point, like I do give it a lot to him. He jump-started my whole career, and he's been one of my closest friends since. Amazing. And so he literally was like, they told the board of Tel Aviv, was like, so he doesn't really have a name and the following's not big, so we really can't afford to bring him. So literally, because that's who was paying for it, was literally like Tel Aviv was paying for it. Crazy. And he was like, it's fine, I'll pay for him. Wow. And he literally paid for me to go.
Crazy.
And then 85 circuit parties later, 900 events.
But I mean, he met you and he obviously believed in you and believed in the connection that you had as friends, because you ended up working for him much longer than what, typical, at least from what I can see as Andrew Christian models, because, some come and go and some stay. He definitely pushed me more, and he saw potential in me. We actually just had a heart-to-heart in San Diego for Pride. And literally, because his company is now, he's ending his company. So we actually had a heart-to-heart, and it was just, it's crazy to say that like he could just like, he created a brand for literally every gays that I've seen over the years inspire people. And now he's created another brand, which he gave me. I didn't have anything before him. And now I can do the same thing to spread it to gays and other people, to exert that same kind of energy and that love and that feeling. And I mean, that's the greatest thing, is being able to pay it forward, right? For sure. And I think that's a really unique story too, because oftentimes we hear so many highlighted stories about these negative perspectives on relationships between, especially a younger gay man and an older gay man that has power and money. And you often get, these, especially feel like in the sort of daily news or straight sort of world, it's like, sometimes these gay men who are super successful get labeled as like a predator, or these negative.
Oh yeah, I definitely would get questions like that.
For sure, I'm sure.
All the time. And, I mean, like, and trust me, I've worked with people that have had like negative, like, media vibes, news about them, and actually like been negative. But like it was, I think, had it ended up being like that, I think my life would be completely different. Like I don't think I'd be as proud as I am right now about being gay. I don't think I would be as successful either. Had I had that negative experience walking into this gay world, I think it would have, like you said, I realized it was wrong and I ran back.
So like at 8 to 13, I was like, this is not going to fit in with my daily life, because I was going to church, I was at a Christian school, my family was definitely like relaying certain phrases and sort of ways of letting me know that my feminine behavior was not gonna, help me fit in.
Your feminine behavior.
Right.
Like he's supposed to be the feminine one.
He says that, but
on the inside, I have long, blonde, luscious Britney Spears
you're also
hair.
Hannah Montana.
And, yes.
So I guess the message just is that I think every gay is a little bit of Hannah Montana.
I could not agree with you more. That is an exact way that I see it. Because like you said, like you're at a young age learning how to invent this person that you're supposed to be in the public. And then you are continuing to develop your sort of queerness like way back in the back of your head. And then by the time you're comfortable with it, you have to sort of start unpacking it now.
But like, imagine if your name was just Masc and you already set yourself up for fucking failure.
No.
I'm like, girl, you already set yourself up.
Do you feel that way?
Well, like I said, when I didn't know Masc was a thing, when I literally walked into, I just learned what the word side meant today.
Side?
What's that?
Oh my God. A side is a person, I learned this today, and I literally just, a side is a person that like only likes to do oral or hand jobs and doesn't like to have sex.
I did not know that.
Didn't know that.
Is this a Gen Z phrase?
I don't know.
Because you said bet. And I was like, okay, so he's hanging out with some Gen Z.
I'm learning new words. I learned bat the other day. I'm just kidding.
Oh, do you know the word?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah,
There's a
you
word
know,
for us millennials, some of us. Chuggy?
Chuggy, they were chuggy.
That sounds almost racist.
Right? Have you heard of it before?
I don't want to.
What is it? Chuggy means like cringe.
No, they're only saying that because they know that you can't make fun of us because of our name or generation name. They know millennial.
I know.
Millennials. It sounds like it's written in gold.
I know.
Right?
You were so right. I never thought of it, but every time
like you can make fun of like baby boomers, Gen X, Gen Z. We get you. And like we can make fun of Gen Z, but we can't really make fun of Alpha, which is like why? They were like, let's beat millennials.
Well, they're starting over.
Oh, yeah. Are they?
Then A.
Oh God, but like millennial, you can't. They had to knock us down a peg. We created the social media that pays your bills.
Yeah.
We literally we were the Instagram.
Yeah.
Like
we brought it to life.
Yeah. Our generation literally was the technology generation where we now have charging cars. We now have we have computers, internet, Wi-Fi, everything. The Apple Watch, the iPad, the iPod, and I feel like history repeats itself.
Yes,
I feel
100%.
like we are going back to the 60s,
100%.
the 70s, where we're all just loving each other and wearing what we want and doing what we want and just coexisting and just like enjoying the ride. And I feel like I said, history repeats itself. I feel like we're going right back into that, and not just because the amount of drug use.
Well, that too.
Well, marijuana is legal now, and I'm like,
it definitely has opened a lot of minds, in my opinion. The fact that cannabis is legalized here and it's continuing to do great things and become legalized in other states. Are you a THC fan or foe?
Yeah, I actually just got back from a shoot from them like 2 days ago.
Nice.
Yeah, I remember when I was buying it illegally. Can I say that?
Yeah,
it was longer. You can't be pressed for how long.
Yeah.
How long can I say that?
I think you're fine.
I was buying it illegally. Like it was in a Ziploc bag. You just felt like the first time you jerked off, you felt like you were doing something bad. You're like, oh, I'm a criminal. I'm horrible. Oh my God, how do I eat this?
That may be your journey.
I grew up in Florida. Don't put it past me. My friend was telling me, like he was trying to go off a little bit. He was like, isn't that the dream? Like that you like the stereotype that you were taught to grow up, get married, have a white picket fence, like have kids. And I was like, I was from Florida. We were just trying not to go to jail.
Right.
Like that was literally, I wouldn't say succeeded, but you know what? I was never charged.
There you go. That's what matters.
We have definitely similar stories. Sounds like our families are very similar.
Sounds like Florida.
Sounds like Florida.
Like the family
Sounds
Florida.
like Florida.
So did you already know, though, when you kind of came out to LA, you obviously are a successful influencer. Is that what you kind of call yourself, as an influencer? How would you creative? Like, how would you describe sort of like your...
I always avoid that question.
Yeah, I know. It's hard.
I always avoid that question because now I would more consider myself a creator.
Yeah.
I think that I've bounced between almost like every job in entertainment. Yeah. Like I've done reality, I've done modeling, I've done like even radio shows, podcasts. Like I've done all of this stuff, hosting, club promoting. I feel like now the title has fallen on just creator now, because I would say it went from whatever Google says I am. That's like really, honestly, that's shortened that answer up. Whatever. Honestly, that's honestly what it is now. I'm not gonna say just don't Google my name. No, I Google my name every now and then to see what's going on down there. And then like when I write it in, I did get the biggest giggle whenever I moved from like internet personality to TV personality. I was like, whatever.
Promoted.
For sure.
Just whatever that says I am.
In some ways, I guess I'm also like my medical journey and being a physician in Florida and in training in Florida. Yeah. I had a very conservative like residency program. I lived in a very conservative place at that time too. So my whole like idea with medicine is that it's so conservative that I don't fit in there, which is often why I feel like I have this sort of like negative view of literally putting on a white coat. Like I feel like this is not, I don't fit this.
But we're in 2025
I know,
now.
but
and we're
here
in California, which is like the gay mecca, the escape, the best area to do whatever.
Right. And that's why we're here.
I love LA because unlike all the other places, this is a place where you get to dream about what you want and aim for that goal. It's not something that you don't have to have on your resume. You don't have to like have some like desk job. You can do literally whatever you do. Sometimes most of my friends don't even have a job.
Yeah. You can start from scratch as well.
You can
just start over. And it's literally so crazy because like I told you earlier, I was like, well, would I have gone to college like later, or was that my choice? And I realized, damn, I got here. I'm like, fuck, I don't need the college. I could have been younger and fucking changing clothes on Instagram.
Sometimes takes time for you to learn those
like
things.
What? Like now all I need to know is like Spanish and how to make a reel. And I'm like,
you're set for life.
And I only know half of both of those. So,
well, these hours go by so fast. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We cannot wait to see you again. Now we're Masc.
Masc, yeah.
The end.